the old man hung on an iron hook. He was the Santa Claus from fairy tales. Several people were discussing how to get a good price. Suddenly, a walkie-talkie voice came from the backpack on the ground. It was the American businessman urging the expedition team to hand over Santa Claus. The father picked up the walkie-talkie and told the other side that Santa Claus was in their hands. If they wanted him, they'd have to compensate for the dead reindeer. Then they drove to the designated location, preparing to exchange him for money. Unexpectedly, after the businessman came forward to inspect, he suddenly turned in terror, telling them to put down their hunting rifles and move slowly.
Put down your weapons.
Because this was just the guardian of Santa Claus. Suddenly the lights went out. A helmet rolled to the ground. The helicopter pilot was dragged away by something. Immediately after, dozens of small old men appeared, armed with weapons. Then the businessman spoke. Before his words could finish, he was killed by a pickaxe, and the surrounding small old men were rapidly approaching. Everyone quickly took refuge in a nearby warehouse. Turning around, what came into view was a massive 10,000-year ice tower, with two giant horns standing at the top. This seemed to be the real Santa Claus. All the stolen heaters from the village were placed around him. The elves were trying to thaw him. Moreover, around the heaters were bags of various sizes, filled with children missing from the village. These were the food prepared by the elves for Santa Claus. Just then, violent impacts came from the door. The father quickly moved heavy objects in front of it, but this could not hold out for long. In the critical moment, Little Bitta proposed. As long as Santa Claus was here, the elves would not let the children go. So he first sent the fat uncle out, using gingerbread to distract the elves. Then seizing the opportunity to steal the helicopter, they loaded all the children into nets, and flew them away. This would draw the elves outside. The father stayed behind, drilling holes in the massive ice block, installing explosives. On the other side, the helicopter moved intermittently, luring the elves to the reindeer capture pen. Unfortunately, the pen's gate was closed. At the crucial moment, brave Little Bitta leaped down, jumping onto the rope, climbing to the ground along the lighthouse, risking opening the gate, luring all the elves into the pen. Little Bitta stood firmly in place, already prepared to sacrifice himself. Just then, the father had finished installing the explosives. They drove a truck with a long fuse, finally pressing the detonator, completely cutting off the source of danger. Losing their guardian belief, the dazed monsters all laid down their weapons. Little Bitta was thus saved. At the end of the story, they cleaned these old men, brought them under unified management, domesticated to become gentle Santa Clauses for children, finally packed them in boxes, exported to all over the world, and they will send you gifts every Christmas.